In this next video, I'm going to go over how to do the button plackets. Since we have right side up pattern pieces, meaning we have a different left side than the right side, the best way to make sure that you're going to do it on the right side is to lay the pieces out as if you're wearing them. So for this garment, it's men's shirt, we have a patch pocket on the left side, wearer's left side, and on the right side, no pocket. The plackets are also constructed differently. On the left side, we'll have the buttonholes. On the left side, we have attached this placket on here. There's only cut one, plus some interfacing on the back. Right side, wearer's right, there is no interfacing, and that's where the buttons are going to get placed. So again, I look to my shirt that I'm using as a sample, and it follows the same convention here, laid out the same way it would be upside down, as if you're wearing it. So on the wearer's right, that's what we're going to work on next. What happens is that we have extended the pattern out a certain amount so that we can fold it over and top stitch it on to the other side. It gets folded under a quarter, fold under a certain amount at the notch, and then it gets folded under again at the quarter, and then you top stitch it so you have a wide place so the button's on. The other side gets the actual placket, and so we'll look at that one next. So what I'm just going to do here is take all the pins out first, and then I'm going to iron under the 1/4 inch, and I've already notched where the center of the placket is, and I actually do want to notch that on both sides. Notches on both sides means a fold, so I'll fix that. Notch there. So I'll pre-press this before I start sewing it. Press it under first 1/4, then at the notch at the center of that line, and then I'll pin it down the center, down the front, and then top stitch it. So when I come back to you, I'll be ready to sew it. It's a good idea to double check that you have turned the right side under at going the right direction. So if you place it back together the way you want it to look when you're done, then you can make sure that you've done that right and that you won't have to do it over again. So now I'm going to go ahead and sew that. I don't have green light here. A little bit closer. Now the buttons go underneath the buttonholes. So I look, if you have been very accurate in measuring your fold over here, then you can sew it from the wrong side. If you want it to be really perfect, everything is going to be more accurate if you sew it from the right side. And I realize there's a major glare here. So here I have the fold on the underside. It would be better for me to do it on the correct side up. However, I also don't want to not catch it, and I want it to be very, very close to the edge. So those are some of the things that I'm working with. So it would be easier to sew it from the wrong side up in this case. so that I can really get 1/16 away from the edge. And that's what I'm going to do. So just using the left inside toe as my guide, I'm just sewing along that whole center front. Watch that you don't start twisting. If it does twist, then counteract it by pushing, the opposite direction. Okay, this is kind of a long seam, so I'll put it on hold. Now I'm going to go over the other side. This is the left side, where's left. And we're going to do the placket, which extends. I'm going to get the other example so you can see it, hopefully. Right. Okay, so this is the placket side. So it has that attached piece on it. This one, ours is going to look a little bit different, but not much, just a little bit different top stitching. So this has an unusual construction. Now I have my right side up. This is my wearer's left. The placket's right side is facing placket, has the interfacing showing on the wrong side. Okay, so I'm just going to sew this in a 1/4 inch. Back stitch. Okay, I'll do. Once you've sewn in the placket at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to press it towards the seam allowance, towards the shirt. Okay, so you see how this is now right side up. The placket is all the way out. It's going to come back on itself eventually here. We're going to do a little understitch. You want to have the seam allowance going towards the shirt, and we're going to understitch it on the wrong side. Here's the hem down at the bottom. We're going to understitch it on the shirt side. You can see my stitch line. I made a mistake and stitch it on the wrong side. So we're going to fix that. It's going to be on the opposite side. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so now this is the correct orientation. The right side is done. The left side is getting there. So here is where it's going to turn over, done my understitch, so it's going to help to roll that joining seam to the wrong side of the fabric. You can match up your notches, so the original center front notches should be aligned, and then all I need to do is turn under this 1/4 inch and then top stitch. I'm going to turn it under a little bit more than a 1/4 because so I'm at 1/16 more, because if I sew it at a 1/4 inch, it's not going to catch. Sew it at exactly, it's not going to catch. So a little bit, 5/16, a little bit more to get over. So here's another thing, is that our top stitch is going to be wider than what we're used to. So after I have this ironed down, I will first top stitch the opposite side, which is going to be at a 1/4. It's a totally decorative, very decorative issue. So I'll, iron this first, while then iron the other side so it looks like it's done, then complete my 2 top stitching lines. Here is the placket pinned. I'm gonna sew the far seam first at 1/4, and then the inside seam top stitch 1/4. In this view, you can see that I have sewn the far side at quarter, top stitch all the way through, and now I'm getting ready to sew the other side. Using the edge of the foot rather than, obviously, because I can't see through fabric, but I did it on the other side as well. My foot, well, the foot is a little bit smaller than a quarter of an inch, so I'm giving myself a little bit of wiggle room there. You really want to make sure that once you're done with this seam, it's not going to open up, or put it in the washing machine, and it's not going to separate from that. Okay, so now at the end of this seam, I'll have both of the two fronts done, and we'll move on to the back and the back yoke. Okay, and